Have you shed that melancholy spirit yet?
No, I think that's here forever, probably.
And if I
Great. It's great to meet you.
Nice.
Congratulations on the show.
Thank
So,
you.
I mean, obviously, I think, going into a beloved book that you already like, people just really respond to has an attraction all in of its own. But what was it about this world and this character that you personally connected with most?
Um, there was something of the sort of lost soul of it of Jeevan that I really related to. Sometimes it takes a director to sort of make you realize what you connected with, because they, in a way, that's kind of what they're saying. And I remember sort of towards the end of shooting the pilot with Hero, he sort of said something about when I did my audition, and he could just tell that uh, there was something melancholy or like sad going on with me, and that he really liked that. Um, and so there's definitely something with Jeevan where he's just got this sort of he doesn't quite know where he fits in the grand scheme of it all. And I've definitely
Absolutely.
had moments like that. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, he's also a character who just goes through a tremendous journey that is probably unlike anything you've ever had to go from it in terms of like start and finish of a character,
Uh,
like the twists and turns of how he develops as a person. Like, what was the unique challenge of that?
yeah, there was a lot to track, really. But what was great was Patrick Somerville, our showrunner, was just such a kind of open door, really. He encouraged all of us to really take ownership of our characters. He wasn't, overly precious about anything. He wanted it to be collaborative, and so, if I wanted to know sort of where we're headed, so that I can sort of make sure that I'm not doing anything that might sort of contradict that. He was all ears, and that really helped sort of make it a bit easier to track what, as you say, is such a complex journey.
Absolutely. I mean, do you feel that that window into the character that your collaborators gave you was also a window into yourself in some ways? Like, was this a very personal journey ultimately, or is it really just that's just an actor's job? Like, is it always a journey of self-discovery?
No, I'm still learning a lot, so it is a lot of discovery, and I'd say, yeah, it was really empowering, really, to work with people like Patrick and Hero, Lucy and Jeremy, the other directors I worked with, people who are open to the actors having opinions and having thoughts, and as I say, having an ownership of the character, um, and that's sort of something sort of taught me that there is value to things that I may bring to the table, ideas that I might have, um, and that I think previously I've maybe been sort of wanting to just sort of do what I'm told to some degree, or that sort of thing. But as I grow into myself, I think I'm sort of learning that actually a lot of the best directors, they want you to have an opinion, they want you to sort of bring something to the table and hash something out and see where we go. And yeah, I think doing this job has certainly given me that.
Have you shed that melancholy spirit yet?
No, I think that's here forever, probably.
Absolutely. No, I mean, so obviously you never know what context something you make is going to come out, especially when these things are years in gestation. But this, I think, more than anything else, you can't help but think of how differently you must have thought of it when you first sat down to how you're thinking of it now. So what have been your thoughts as you've wrestled with this in your mind, over the last 2 years in terms of how you think people are going to receive it? Like, what do you think of the message of this will resonate most with people?
I think, yeah, obviously I had it was obviously quite in a way disturbing when everything started happening in real life, and we just shot the pilot, and I was going, okay, is this going to happen? Are we going to do this? And obviously talking to Patrick and to the producers, and uh, it was that we don't need to change anything. The story and what's beautiful about Emily's novel and about I think the story that we're telling is that ultimately it's about hope in the face of, you know, in our case, the collapse of civilization. You know, it's what I love, especially about, you know, episode 2. You know, we end episode 1 with the sort of, it's the end of the world. Episode 2, and we pick up 20 years later, and there's just this band of travelers and performers, and there's just like energy and hope, and humanity has found a way to survive and be joyous in that. You know, it's not bleak, it's not you know, hopeless. And I think hopefully that's something that people will take away, is that, you know, we're telling a story with many ups and many downs and many characters and twists and turns, but, you know, hopefully they'll realize that there's beauty in the world no matter what happens.
Absolutely. Well, I can't wait for the world to see it, and the books fans to finally get a crack at it and see it performing. It's absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.